Hello, designers. Welcome to the dark side of UX, where design can deceive. As designers, are we truly empowering users, or are we subtly guiding them into choices that serve business goals over their needs? The reality is, not all design is created for good. Some UX tactics mislead, manipulate, and pressure users into actions they never intended. Today, we'll uncover the psychology, real world examples, and consequences of deceptive design so you can spot, avoid, and build ethical, user first experiences. The UX dilemma: are we designing for users or trapping them? Have you ever signed up for a free trial but canceling felt like solving a puzzle? Clicked X to close a pop up, but instead it took you to another page? Tried unsubscribing from an email only to get a guilt tripping message? Are you sure? You'll miss out on exclusive deals. If you've experienced any of these, you've been a victim of dark UX patterns. Dark UX patterns manipulate users into making decisions they might not have made otherwise. And while they may boost short term engagement, they damage long term trust. Today, we're uncovering what dark UX patterns are and why they work, the psychology behind user manipulation, why these tricks backfire and lead to legal trouble, how to design persuasive UX without being deceptive. Let's dive into the dark side of UX and how to avoid falling into the trap. Now, you might be wondering, wait, isn't UX supposed to make things easier for users? Well, not always. Sometimes UX is used against users, trapping them, tricking them, or pushing them into decisions they didn't intend to make. This isn't about bad design mistakes, it's deliberate manipulation. And that's what makes it so dangerous. How do dark UX patterns work? Dark UX patterns exploit human psychology. They hijack cognitive biases, push emotional triggers, and create friction where users don't expect it. Here's how they work: they exploit cognitive biases. Our brains are wired for shortcuts. We make fast emotional decisions to save mental effort. Dark UX taps into this by manipulating urgency, social proof, and fear of missing out. FOMO. For example, have you ever seen only two rooms left, book now on a hotel website? That's artificial urgency. It makes you panic buy even if there's no real rush. They create friction in actions you want to take. Ever tried unsubscribing from a service and had to go through multiple steps, captures, and confirmation emails? That's intentional friction. Businesses don't want you to leave easily. For example, many companies' subscription cancellation process are designed with multiple hurdles, making it frustrating to cancel. They manipulate attention. Important options are hidden in fine print, while less desirable choices are pre-selected by default. Some websites overload users with unnecessary choices to bury the one they actually want. For example, airline booking sites often auto-add seat selection, travel insurance, or priority boarding, unless you manually uncheck them. They pressure users into decisions. Have you seen timers on checkout pages, making you feel like you'll lose a deal if you don't buy right now? Or those exclusive one time offers that suddenly disappear if you refresh the page? For example, retailers use countdown timers to create an illusion of scarcity, making users buy impulsively. The research behind dark UX patterns. Dark UX patterns are not accidental. Companies spend millions testing and refining the most effective ways to manipulate users. Dr. Harry Brignall, a cognitive scientist, coined the term dark patterns in 2010 when he noticed companies using psychology based deception in digital products. His research categorized these deceptive techniques, exposing how businesses intentionally mislead users to boost profits. Curious to learn more? Want to explore real world cases and legal actions against dark UX? Check out darkpatterns.org for in depth insights. Alright, next we're breaking down the sneakiest dark UX patterns so you can spot them before they trap you. Roach Motel, the subscription you can't escape. Imagine this: Signing up takes 10 seconds. Canceling takes 10 days. That's Roach Motel UX. Super easy to get in, almost impossible to get out. Let's understand what's happening here. Signing up is one click, but canceling requires multiple steps, hidden links, and a maze of confirmation screens. Some services bury the cancellation option deep in settings, hoping you'll give up before finding it. Others force users to call customer support just to cancel, making the process frustrating on purpose. Why it's harmful. Users feel trapped and frustrated, leading to distrust and negative brand reputation. Forced continuity. The oops, we charged you scam. Ever signed up for a free trial only to check your bank statement and see a charge you didn't expect? That's forced continuity, when companies auto renew subscriptions without giving you a proper warning. Here's how they trick you. You sign up for a free trial, but the company never reminds you before charging your card. The cancellation option is buried in obscure settings. Some services require cancellation within a specific window, or you'll be locked into long term payments. Why it's harmful. It exploits forgetfulness, trapping users in subscriptions they never intended to keep. Sneaky pre-selection. The oops, I didn't want that trick. You go to checkout and suddenly you see a list of extra fees that you never agreed to. That's sneaky pre-selection. When businesses pre-check options for you, hoping you won't notice. So, what's going on here? Extra warranties, baggage fees, or donations are pre-selected at checkout. If users don't notice and manually uncheck them, they get charged for things they never agreed to. Why it's harmful. It tricks users into spending more money without their explicit consent. Confirm shaming, the passive aggressive guilt trip. Ever clicked? No thanks, and been hit with a guilt tripping message like, no thanks, I don't like saving money. I'd rather pay full price forever. Nope, I don't care about my health. That's confirm shaming, where websites make users feel bad for making their own choices. How it works. Declining an offer makes the user feel guilty. The wording is manipulative, making users feel stupid or irresponsible for opting out. Why it's harmful. Users feel pressured into making a decision they didn't want to make and resent the company for it. Bait and switch, the that's not what I clicked trick. This one is pure frustration. You expect one action and get the opposite. Here's how they pull this off. You click X to close a pop up, but instead it redirects you to another page. A software update button installs extra programs you didn't agree to. Why it's harmful. It destroys user trust and makes users feel tricked rather than in control. Hidden costs. The surprise fees at checkout. Ever thought you were paying one price only to see extra fees magically appear at checkout? That's hidden costs, when businesses hide additional charges until the last moment. How does it work? The price looks lower at first, but unexpected fees are added at checkout. Mandatory charges, like processing fees, are only disclosed at the very end. Why it's harmful. It misleads users into thinking they're getting a better deal than they actually are. Disguised ads. When ads look like real content. Ever clicked on an article only to realize it was actually an ad? That's disguised ads. When advertising is designed to look like organic content. How it works. Ads blend in with real search results. Sponsored posts look identical to actual news articles. Why it's harmful. It tricks users into engaging with promotions they didn't intend to. Misdirection. When the most important button is hard to find. Ever noticed how the subscribe button is huge and colorful, but the no thanks button is tiny and hidden? That's misdirection, where companies design buttons in a way that guides users toward a choice they may not want. How does it work? The accept button is bold and obvious, while the decline button is hard to find. Users are visually tricked into clicking what benefits the company. Why it's harmful. It reduces genuine user choice and pressures users into unwanted actions. When your contacts get dragged in. Ever signed up for something and suddenly all your friends get emails from you? That's friend spam, when services trick users into giving them access to their contact list. How it works. Users are tricked into granting permissions, thinking it's just part of the sign up process. The platform sends messages or invites to all their contacts without their full understanding. Why it's harmful. It violates user privacy and spreads spam without clear consent. Forced action. When you can't move forward without agreeing. Ever tried signing up for something and couldn't proceed unless you agreed to something unrelated? That's forced action. When users are pushed into agreeing to things they don't want just to move forward. How it works. A website forces users to enable notifications before they can continue. A free app requires users to share personal data to access features. Why it's harmful? It takes away user choice, making them feel pressured into decisions they wouldn't normally make. So, why do companies use these tactics? Let's be real. If dark UX didn't work, companies wouldn't use it. These tactics are designed to manipulate users into making decisions they might not have made otherwise. And guess what? They boost metrics. But at what cost? They increase conversions, but also increase frustration. They trap users longer, but also create distrust. They boost revenue, but often lead to legal trouble. And here's the thing, they don't just annoy users, they're becoming illegal in many places. Governments and regulators aren't looking the other way anymore. Laws are being passed, companies are getting fined, and dark UX is being called out publicly more than ever. So while these tactics might boost short term gains, they come with serious long term risks. Why dark UX backfires in the long run? Let's break it down. Dark UX may help businesses hit short term KPIs, but the damage it does in the long run is far worse. Loss of trust. Users feel deceived and start avoiding the brand. People don't forget when they feel tricked. They may complete one purchase, but they'll never return. Legal trouble. Companies are being regulated and fined. Governments are cracking down on manipulative UX practices. Legal impact. EU's GDPR and California's CCPA now require clear consent, easy opt outs, and transparency. And this is just the beginning. More laws are coming to protect users from deceptive design tactics. High churn rates. Users may convert, but they don't stay. Dark UX might trick someone into signing up, but that doesn't mean they will stick around. If a user feels manipulated, they leave as soon as they can. If they feel trapped, they leave with a bad taste in their mouth. And word of mouth is powerful. Frustrated users talk, leave bad reviews, and warn others. Bad PR, social media backlash, and lawsuits. The internet never forgets. Dark UX patterns get called out all the time. Users expose manipulative tactics on Twitter, Reddit, and tech blogs. Once a company gets a bad reputation, it's hard to undo the damage. How to design ethically instead of deceptively. Persuasion versus manipulation. There's a fine line between persuasion that is good UX and manipulation which is dark UX. Good UX guides users toward informed decisions with transparency, whereas dark UX tricks users into unintended actions. How to design for ethical engagement. Instead of tricking users, great UX should guide them. Be transparent. Make opt ins and opt outs crystal clear. No hidden checkboxes, no sneaky pre selections. Give users control. Let them decide without forcing choices or using misleading copy. Respect user choice. No guilt tripping, no aggressive pop ups, no endless confirmation loops. Make cancellation fair. If signing up is easy, leaving should be just as easy. No unnecessary friction. Because at the end of the day, great UX isn't about tricking people. It's about making things easy, effortless, and fair. So here is the final thought. Are you designing for trust or tricks? If you're a designer, you hold the power. Your choices shape user experiences. You can create trust and transparency, or you can push tactics that manipulate users for short term gains. So ask yourself, am I guiding users or am I trapping them? Because the best UX isn't about forcing engagement, it's about making interactions feel natural, intuitive, and user friendly.